Hey everyone, it's Kate, and if you know me, you know that I love Taylor Swift. And of course, if you know that, then you would know that today, December 13th, is Taylor Swift's 26th birthday. And the fact that Taylor Swift's birthday came rolling around got me thinking about how I started to become so obsessed with Taylor and how much I have to thank her for. I just want to do a little video about how I got into Taylor and what came out of me being such a big fan of Taylor. Basically, my journey with Taylor probably starts in about 2007. I remember hearing Teardrops on my guitar on the radio, but I wouldn't say that this is when I started liking Taylor because I didn't know that it was her. I just thought it was a good song. I was 7 years old. It was just like on the pop radio stations that my parents would play every so often. And then a couple years later, I remember my friend playing me Should Have Said No when she came over at my house on Google videos because she wasn't allowed to use YouTube. And I remember really liking that song and knowing that that was Taylor. But then I think the first time that I really got into Taylor was me watching the Love Story music video and then watching it over and over and over again after that. And that was summer 2009, so the summer before I went into 4th grade. I was 10 years old. And after watching Love Story, I got really into You Belong With Me as well, and I would watch that video over and over and over and over, and then Our Song. And then for Christmas, I asked my parents for her CD Fearless, and I got it. Then I put the CD on the CD player in my basement. I'm in my basement right now, just over there, and I would dance and sing along for hours and hours. I was like a 10-year-old girl just dancing in my basement, singing way off key, but I was having such a good time. And of course, I couldn't really relate to any of the lyrics yet because, I was 10 years old. But I loved all of the songs for what they were. And then another big part in my Taylor journey was this book. We had to do a project when I was in 7th grade where we made a book about a singer-songwriter for art class. And of course, I chose Taylor. So here's the cover of my book. Yep, that's supposed to be Taylor. As you can see, I am an artist. And as I'm sure you can tell from that, I was a fairly cringy fan when I was younger. I wrote I heart ? On the back of my hand all the time for no apparent reason. I was like, I'll love Taylor Swift forever and always. And you made desktop backgrounds with lyrics and song titles on them. I'll put a couple in right here if I can find some. Yeah. But after all that, even though it brings back memories of cringy 5th grade Kate, I still am a fan of Taylor because she's brought so many amazing things to my life. She makes such amazing music and she's such a lovely person. So I'm going to talk about some things that Taylor has helped me. Well, I'm going to talk about some things that I am grateful for Taylor for, other than just being a lovely little bundle of joy. So one thing is that through Taylor's songs, I have been so much more eager to write poetry over the years. I love writing, especially poetry, but I a lot of the time feel like I'm not that good. But then I look at Taylor's songs. For example, if you go way back to her unreleased songs, I don't know if any of you know Welcome Distraction, but that's a really, really cute song. And it's good for her age at the time, but it's not like a stellar lyrical masterpiece. If you take Welcome Distraction and then you put it next to, say, All Too Well, you can see such an improvement, and that's the kind of improvement I want in my writing too. Also, Taylor's always been there for me through everything. She has a song for everything. There's a song for when you just want to hang out with your friends and scream the lyrics. I know my friends and I love songs like 22 and New Romantics. There's a song for when you're sad about a crush. There's a song when you're happy about a crush. I made a video for my mom with the best day for Mother's Day, so there's a song for that. There's a song for everything that Taylor has written, and I know that there are lots of other artists that do similar things, but hers are just so real and emotional and raw and very easy to relate to, and that's why I love them. And one specific song that I really, really like that has taught me a lot and is especially relevant because I'm 15 this year is 15. And that song is on Fearless, which is the first Taylor album that I bought. And it's basically telling you that there's more to life than dating the boy on the football team and being popular and everything. And of course I already knew those things, but that's just something that was really reinforced for me through that song, and it's just something I am really glad that she brought across. And she actually sang 15 at my 1989 tour concert, which made my life because I'm 15 this year, and that's such a big deal to me. And going on to Taylor making my life, I adore Taylor, of course you would know. And I have a Tumblr blog, it's called New Romantics. Back in the day, it was New Romantics of Wonderland, and before that it was Loving Ed Was Red, so there's always been a Taylor theme. Taylor actually followed me on Tumblr on November 23rd, 2014, and that was such a big thing for me. It made my life. Just the fact knowing that she saw my URL and clicked on the follow button because she wanted to was such a big deal to me. And even though she's never liked one of my posts, reblogged one of my posts, replied to one of my posts, just the fact that knowing she could see one of those posts is so cool. She's someone that I admire a lot, and I love it when people that I admire acknowledge my existence and acknowledge that I'm a cool person, I guess. Another awesome thing that Taylor's done for me is introduce me to other artists. For example, I had heard some Ed Sheeran before. Everything Has Changed came out, but that made me more eager to listen to more Ed Sheeran because I love Everything Has Changed so much, and I did, and I am such a huge fan of Ed Sheeran now. I've never seen him live or anything. I wouldn't say I'm as big of a fan of Ed as I am of Taylor, but I love all of his music. Of his I have heard is so good, and I'm so glad that he is someone in my life. Another artist that Taylor acknowledged the existence of that I already knew about and was a huge fan of was Troye Sivan. And just seeing that two of my favorite artists admired each other's music was such a cool thing for me too. Another thing that I don't think I'll ever be able to thank Taylor enough for, this doesn't directly relate to me, but is being so amazing to her fans. She invited Sophie over to her apartment. She had secret sessions where she invited many fans into her homes, played them her album, fed them, talked to them, took pictures with each of them, and that's just something so unimaginable because no other artist I know of has ever done that. She has free meet and greets at her concerts. She sends fans presents. She stops on the street when she sees a fan wearing one of her t-shirts to take a picture with them. There's so many things that Taylor does, and there are so few artists that are so good to their fans. And I'm so appreciative that she's like that, because I know that one day in the future when I do meet her, she'll be just as sweet. Like I mentioned before, Taylor's concert on the 1989 tour, my date was October 3rd, 2015, was such an amazing night in my life. I got to see Taylor for the first time, and even though I was in the 500s, and I didn't have fancy lights or posters, my costume was just me dressed as Catastrophe with cat ears on my head, a cat sweatshirt, and cat tights. It was such an amazing night, and I loved dancing and singing along to not only just her, but Shawn Mendes, Vance Joy, and Charlie XCX, and that would have never been an experience I would have had if I wasn't a fan of Taylor. The thing that struck me the most was the clean speech that night. It was something that I just really needed to hear. Basically, the clean speech that night, I'll link it below, but to summarize, it was her talking about how it's so idealized in society to be chill, cool, calm, and generally unexcited about things, unenthusiastic, and how another word for all of those things is just cynical. And it was related to how that night I was feeling like, even though I'm a very, very shy person, I'm not generally the type to dance when people are watching. I danced along with her, and she was commenting on how she loved how we all danced like no one was watching with her, next to thousands of people we had never met. And that was something I just really needed to hear, because it was something that I was having the time of my life doing, but I wouldn't normally do. Finally, there is one thing left, and I think it is by far the most important thing that Taylor has done for me. Taylor has introduced me to some of the best people I've ever met. First of all, there's one of my best friends, Jasmine, who I know in real life, and we were in gym class together first semester in grade 9. And of course, we were already talking to each other a lot. We were quite similar because we were unathletic, but the thing that like solidified our friendship was when we both discovered that each other were huge fans of Taylor Swift. That's been such an amazing thing for us to bond over. And for example, when she came over for my birthday, we made videos to Taylor Swift songs, and that's a memory that we have that we can laugh about for years and years to come. And another person that Taylor has introduced me to, who I would have had even less of a chance of meeting, is one of my very, very close friends, Noelle. Noelle actually lives in the USA, in a state quite far from here, and we met because I was scrolling through my Tumblr dashboard one day, and I saw a thing that said, come here into a chat room for if you don't have other Tumblr friends and you want to make some. So I did, and there were a group of really, really nice girls, and we ended up making a Skype group chat together, and they're such lovely people. But the one that I met there was Noelle. She's the same age as me, and one day she messaged me on Skype and asked if I had a phone, and I don't because I'm still like 7th grade, TBH, and I have an iPod. But then she was soon going to be getting a smartphone instead of the flip phone she had at the time. So she said that we could message each other on Kik because that was going to be easier for her than Skype. And through it all, now we're very close friends. We talk to each other almost every day. I've told her so many things. Like, she's one of the people I go to rant about crushes or to talk about random things happening in my life. And I'm so glad that I met her because we don't just have Taylor in common. We just have so many things that we can talk about together, and I'm so grateful to have a friendship like that. So I guess in the end, what I want to say is thank you, Taylor. Thank you for being there for me through all these years, even when nobody else was, even if you don't know that you were. Thank you for teaching me such important lessons that I'm going to keep for the rest of my life. Thank you for introducing me to some of my best friends in the world. Thank you for making October 3rd, 2015 the best night of my life so far. Thank you for following me on November 23rd, 2014, and making my life and surprising me and all of my friends while you were at it. And thank you for inspiring me to achieve my dreams. And most of all, thank you for just being you. I look forward to many, many years of continuing to be a loving, supporting fan of you. I doubt that you're ever going to watch this video, but if you, for some reason, manage to get this far, I hope that you have a very, very happy birthday, Taylor, and continue being just as awesome as you are. And to all of you who are watching who aren't Taylor, thank you so much for watching me ramble on and on and on about Taylor. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you want more videos. They won't necessarily be like this one, but you will get some other more serious ones of me talking and rambling about things. Some funny challenges and other vlog type videos with myself or my sister or my friends. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!